thing here. All right. How you guys all doing? What is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and yeah, this is a week late. I know, it's late, but always, life, it happens. But I'm trying to catch up here. But we are here for my WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 live review. It took place last Sunday, June 5th, 2022, at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Boy, oh boy, was Chicago a great crowd at this show, except for when it went dead silent when a certain Nightmare, took off his jacket and saw that torn pec after effects. That's right, we are talking about the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We'll talk about Mr. Cody Rhodes later in this stream. But, yes, again, I know this is super late, but again, I am playing catch-up now. Raw is on, which, by the way, apparently we're about to have another match for the 24/7 championship between Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch. Oh, God. I'm really only interested in one thing right now, and hearing about what the heck is going on with Judgment Day. Which, I'll save that for if I do get to do it tonight, the Finn Balor turn alert. But Friday, I spent the whole day at home trying to get caught up. Saturday morning, before I had errands to run with my fiance, did a couple more. And then I just literally didn't feel like doing anything yesterday after I got back from a birthday party. So, yes, I'm still on the road to catching up. This video, we're kind of going to do two videos, because there's going to be a second thing. I was going to do it as a topic video, but I'm just going to talk about it here in this stream. We'll get to it when we talk about, of course, that main event match. But overall, what were my thoughts on Hell in a Cell 2022? First, I saw Tyler's comment. Yes, this pay-per-view name has to go. I couldn't agree more. Again, I am tired of having these match stipulations be the name of pay-per-views. The Hell in a Cell match we got on this show, minus, of course, the risk that Cody Rhodes took, that is, was an excellent match. I still feel, though, that this does not need to be that feud with Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins, even though I want to call Cody Rhodes now Cody freaking Rhodes because of what he did on this show. That feud still did not need Hell in a Cell. Quite frankly, the match that should have been Hell in a Cell, in my opinion, is that six-man tag between AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and Judgment Day, Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. We will talk about that again when we get to the Finn Balor turn alert, of course, which I might try to do tonight. We'll see what I get done tonight, what I don't get done tonight. But that should have been inside Hell in a Cell. That match with Seth Rollins, okay, the match with Rollins and Rhodes was amazing. It was an amazing match. It still did not need to be inside the cell. So yes, they have to stop these brand named pay-per-views. I mean, you don't have to call it Elimination Chamber. You can have the Elimination Chamber match there, but call it No Way Out again. Or, even if you wanted to, call Hell in a Cell No Way Out, or you want to call Hell in a Cell, No Mercy, or whatever the heck you want to call it, that's fine. Or Extreme Rules could be, No Mercy, or Over the Limit, or whatever you want to call it. But it does not have to be a pay-per-view name. It does not have to be the name of an actual match. With that being said, also, as far as, my overall thoughts on the show, I didn't hate it. I felt somewhat similar how it came out of WrestleMania Backlash. A fun show that I would watch maybe like one time, but as all other pay-per-views in the long run, fun wrestling, but nothing to, have you want to keep watching. Have you want to keep going forward. Like, nothing to set up what's next. And it continues to show that WWE, is worth maybe just watching the pay-per-views, not even worrying about Raw or SmackDown. Like, there may be one or two things that may make me want to check out the shows weekly. Like I said, nothing, and it's almost coming up on a year since I started cutting back and I stopped doing Raw and SmackDown reviews. And I stopped watching NXT also. Nothing is literally making me change my mind. Nothing. I had a small itch around WrestleMania season. A small itch to maybe do it again. But I can't. And especially right now with just how much more busier I am, how much more responsibilities I have, so many more things I'm looking into right now for me. There's no way. Absolutely no way I could do it. But you've heard me talk enough about, myself. Let's check the live chat, see what you guys say, and then we'll get into the review talking about the 7-match pay-per-view Hell in a Cell 2022. We got Tyler again saying this pay-per-view day needs to go. What's going on, Mark? Not too bad, my friend. How about yourself? The show sucks like Backlash. Again, it doesn't... I wouldn't say... Well, here's the thing. Wrestling-wise, it didn't suck. But as far as, like, storytelling, what's next, it left nothing there for me. The only good matches was the triple threat match and the Hell in a Cell match, even though Cody shouldn't have been in it. Sox Cody's going to be out a while. 9 months, yes. 2.5 out of 10. This show was hell and bad, Tyler says. Hell in a Cell was hell and bad. If Ciampa's not joining Judgment Day, what was the point of turning him heel? I'm still wondering, what's the point of him, still being here? Because I thought his contract ran out sometime this month. So I'm just kind of hoping he's on his way out, because he has nothing to do here at all. Let me see here. Replace Hell in a Cell with Bad Blood. Bad Blood would be an idea. And Ronda Houseface Rousey. Tyler really does not like Ronda at all. Which is his, insults on her are quite funny. And he also thinks Bianca is being over-pushed. My opinion, I wouldn't say yet. I wouldn't say so yet. Nah, I think, they've done fine with Bianca. But she did need that title win to get her momentum back for sure after, what they did with her at SummerSlam, which was ridiculous. But, let's move on. Let's talk about the matches. Speaking of Bianca, we opened up with that amazing triple threat match, I thought. Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Becky Lynch. Outstanding match. Hard-hitting, fast-paced, back and forth. I thought if anyone probably looked the best in this match, definitely Asuka. Like, Asuka looked like she was, back on some type of a groove we haven't seen in a long time. The hard-hitting and then the aggression, I felt was back there. Because for a while they obviously toned her down. I think Vince was more amazed by her. And I don't know. It just, it started to feel like, Asuka was kind of somewhat of the female Braun Strowman. Me compared to that, WWE only pushed her and put her in the main event scene, not when they wanted to, when they needed her to be. But I just hope that is a sign that they're going to try to get Asuka back on track. She's still involved in some sort of a feud, it seems like, with Becky Lynch this time, as Becky Lynch continues to, tell the story of her, hitting rock bottom, but yes, she's a heel, whatnot. I don't get it, but this match was awesome. It was a nice, 15, 20-minute match, fast-paced, a lot of close near falls, too. And then, of course, I like how they have Bianca Belair beat Becky Lynch at her own game as Becky looked like she was about to win the title back, but then Bianca just tossed her away and go, I'll take that, girl. And she pins Asuka, and she retains the title in a pretty good match. Now, I think, next up is Bianca and Rhea. Honestly, here's the thing. If it wasn't for what they're doing with Rhea and Judgment Day, I would say, because I still want to see this match, even though, Rhea facing this person would be good also. But I'd say if you want to unify the women's championship and do it at SummerSlam, I would still like to see Ronda Rousey versus Bianca Belair. I also wouldn't mind seeing Ronda Rousey versus Rhea Ripley. But since Rhea's already in the match, because she earned her spot last week in the title match, I kind of would have liked to rather have seen Rhea maybe win Money in the Bank. Be kind of a little bit of like a good, thing for Judgment Day. Well, her having a title would be good also, too. But I still right now am more feeling Bianca and Ronda, but for Rhea and Bianca also, I just don't think Rhea can lose at the next pay-per-view. I don't think she could. I'm sorry. Well, I don't think she's able to lose the next pay-per-view, in my opinion. But yes, so excellent opener for sure. Definitely, I would say if it wasn't for the Hell in a Cell match, I would say definitely my match tonight. This was a show stealer. Like this was, if there was a good way to open up a hot crowd, it was definitely this match. And then we probably got our worst match of the night. Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. First off, they had, I guess because of the DQ or whatnot recent weeks before Raw, that Omos and MVP got to pick their stipulation, which theirs was a handicap match. Why in God's name would MVP insert himself into a match that, the guy is terrified to death to get his hands on, have Bobby Lashley get his hands on him? They should have done something, well, I was going to say steel cage, but they did that already on Raw. I don't know. I really don't know what else they could have done, but I thought it was stupid that they had, I think Bobby Lashley should have been the one picking at least a handicap match to try to take them both out. I don't think MVP and Omos should have been picking it because it was stupid, I thought, in my opinion. Especially if, we all know that, Now, here's the thing. If Omos, which would be stupid also, because this whole feud was stupid, because I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Omos. I just see 2022's Great Khali. I'm sorry. He can't talk. He's as stiff as a board when he wrestles. I'm sorry. He doesn't do it for me. But Lashley losing to Omos multiple times would have been crap for him because it would have sent him back down the card. There was a few times where no, that's right. There was a few times, and one of them was whenever Bobby Lashley took on MVP one-on-one, and I guess he got counted out or something like that for a brawl with MVP outside. I can't remember what it was. It was so stupid. It made me think of, when he first came back and was a babyface, just smiling, going, "Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy." And it looked like he was just, you could tell he was just all over the place. The guy, remember, in that Bobby's sister segment, literally put the helmet on someone and punched him in the head while they had the helmet on. How stupid is that? But whatever. Bobby won this, thank goodness. He didn't lose so much momentum. Afterwards, though, he did grab someone's championship in the crowd, showing that that he wants to go after the world title and be a champion again someday. And I've heard rumors because of Cody Rhodes' injury, Bobby Lashley is supposed to be filling Cody Rhodes' shoes, I think, as the big baby face on Raw, while Cody's gone. Even though I think he's now going to be fighting Austin Theory for the U.S. title, maybe, I don't know, but it looks like to me that's the plan. So Bobby Lashley wins. Thank God, because, Omos does nothing. I'm sorry. There's absolutely Nothing. And of course, it hurts MVP's credibility as a manager again, unfortunately. So, yeah, definitely my least favorite match on the night. Next match, Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. I'll say this match was decent. It was better than I thought it would be. I gotta say, Elias, Ezekiel, whatever your real life name is, definitely improved a lot in the ring. I do like how he kind of had, like the streamers on his elbows, did like the elbow drop, and it kind of like paid homage like the Ultimate Warrior. It looked like, or Macho Man Randy Savage, or I can't remember, what it is, but what he was going for. But I thought he looked better in the ring. It was decent back and forth. My only gripe is they had Kevin Owens win. I don't know. Having Kevin Owens win, it kind of just... And now they're doing a rematch on Raw tonight. Like, we're going to do 50-50 booking. Like, it kind of, like... It hurt the purpose of this entire thing. Like, the whole joke about, about Ezekiel trying to say, I'm not Elias. And then, but then Kevin Owens just flipping, going ape shit over this. And now it's like, okay, Kevin Owens beat him, so now what's the point of getting behind this Ezekiel character? Like, he's a loser now. If the point was to, make him improve from what Elias was, then it doesn't work. So, solid match, but, like I said, with Owens winning, it was like, okay, what's the point of continuing this? Like, I can see Ezekiel winning, Kevin Owens wanting a rematch, saying you got lucky or whatnot, even though I'm tired of Rematch City, but I think it's dumber that they had Owens win, but yet Ezekiel still wants to go at it. I don't know. It is strange, but Kevin Owens wins, but still a solid match. I also really enjoyed this 6-man tag match, which I think should have either been a Hell in a Cell or a Tornado tag match. It was the team of AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan taking on the team of Judgment Day's, at the time, leader, Edge, Damian Priest, and the recent number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley. I thought this, again, was a fun, fast-paced action match. I still really wish they would have made this like a Tornado tag match. Or, like I said, this could have been Hell in a Cell. And it would have been absolutely phenomenal, no pun intended. I like how, and the thing is now, of course, we've hit a big crossroads with this feud, which I will save my thoughts on what happened on Raw last when I do my turn alert for Finn Balor, which there was some good, but I got some nitpicks about that. I definitely was hoping, well, then again, you couldn't have Judgment Day win here. I definitely was thinking, they should have had, AJ maybe win here, because they did almost have AJ win, because he finally, after not being able to successfully do it the first 2 matches that him and Edge had one-on-one, had him hit the phenomenal forearm on Edge, but it wasn't enough. And again, too, I really like how they've had, Rhea Ripley kind of be somewhat of like a distraction, because Rhea Ripley, to me, can believably fight a guy if she wanted to. I really think they could have Rhea Ripley, have a match with like an AJ Styles if she wanted to, or, just basically just have an intergender match. I can buy Rhea Ripley being someone, intimidating. I can. But, yeah, very fun 6-man tag. It's just a shame that now it's like I don't know how to feel about it, because, again, especially what they did with Judgment Day last week. We'll talk about it, though, in a different video. I might try to do tonight. Okay. The No Holds Barred match. Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. First off, it looks like I couldn't find any PNGs without the stupid suspenders, but Madcap's not wearing the suspenders anymore. And based off of the promos that he's been cutting recently, it looks like that he's going to shed off the Madcap gimmick, and he may just go back to being just Riddick Boss, which I hope. And I also hope that Happy Corbin becomes Baron, just call himself Baron Corbin again, because this Happy Corbin bullshit is just, it's stupid. It's so freaking stupid. I will give them credit, though. Even though I've not been a fan of these guys at all, this was a solid match. It was a solid, no-holds-barred match, and I do kind of like how they had Madcap Moss get his full revenge on Corbin by winning the match after basically doing what Corbin did to him a few weeks ago. He put the chair around his neck, smashed it with another heavy object, and basically just hurt the neck of Corbin. So I didn't get to watch SmackDown. I don't know if Corbin came out with a brace on, whining and crying, as he probably would do so, or whatever direction they're going with it. But I thought that I like the storytelling, but you're not making me a big Madcap Moss fan yet. And of course, it's going to be a lot to make me a fan of Baron, Happy, whatever, Bum Corbin. Honestly, with Madcap, defeating him and injuring him, they need to go back to just doing Bum Corbin. Like I said, Bum Baron Corbin was the best thing Baron Corbin, I think, has done on the main roster. Well, since losing Money in the Bank. Again, I liked him on the main roster until he jobbed the Jinder Mahal to lose the Money in the Bank contract. After that, I just lost it with him. It was just, yeah, very blah, meh, and just not too good. But yeah, credit where credit is due. This was a solid match. So yeah, so Madcap Moss wins, and I guess we can finally move on. Okay, match number 6 for the United States Championship. Mustafa Ali taking, of course, the hometown boy, Mustafa Ali, taking on Austin Theory, the United States Champion. Solid match. Crowd was hot for Ali, but of course, besides the fact that Austin Theory is the latest, Vince McMahon guy, there was no way that they were going to, have the hometown boy Mustafa Ali beat Vince McMahon's boy, Austin Theory. No chance in hell. No pun intended. So yeah, solid match. Got nothing else to say. Before we get to the main event, let's just check the live chat, see if anybody else has anything to say. Tyler would have rather had Asuka won the Raw Women's title, and how Asuka and Charlotte have great chemistry in the ring. That they do. I will not deny that for sure. Ooh, the Justin stuff's coming. I want to watch that stuff. I'll watch it afterwards. Tyler does not want the more belts unified. Like I said, my thing is again, there's the talent is just not there anymore. Like I said, so it's it's worthwhile just unifying the belts, in my opinion, putting the stars back on both, so just ending the brand split. But we'll see where that goes. The thought, got Anthony Campbell. What's up, Anthony? The thoughts on Jeff Hardy getting arrested. I will save that for when I do my Dynamite review from last week. I will save that for that. But thank you for bringing that up. Alright, let's talk about this main event. Because I got a lot I want to say about this. Not just the main event, but about Cody Rhodes himself. So the main event was Cody freaking Rhodes. Yeah, not Seth freaking Rollins. I don't know why they're emphasizing the freaking in his name when he's a heel. If he was a babyface, then yes, but as a heel, no. I still don't get why they have his legitimate wrestling name, Seth freaking Rollins. But anyways, so let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Last 2 weeks ago on Raw, in that brawl with him and Seth Rollins on the go-home show before Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes partially tore his pectoral muscle, which should have been a sign of hey, may not be a good idea to wrestle at Hell in a Cell. Well, apparently, he was supposed to wrestle Rollins at a house show the day before Hell in a Cell. So what does Cody do? He does a workout. And what does he do there? Completely tears the pectoral muscle right off the bone. But that still didn't stop big boy Cody Rhodes from wrestling. So I heard that he was still going to wrestle. And I'm like, okay, this, I guess maybe it's not too bad after all, or what is it now? And I heard rumors that Cody wanted to wrestle, the one more match and finish off this thing with Seth. And then, go focus on getting taken care of. When Cody came out and he took that jacket off, the crowd went absolutely silent. And I mean completely silent. And I was even like, what the hell are you doing? Let me show you a picture here really quick. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, don't get too startled. That was Cody Rhodes last Sunday entering Hell in a Cell with a fully torn pectoral muscle. And he wrestled inside Hell in a Cell. Put on a hell of a match, by the way. The quality of the match with him and Rollins was excellent. But this crazy MFer, no joke, wrestled a Hell in a Cell match with a torn pectoral muscle. Cody, you're a crazy bad boy. You're a crazy man. You are more crazy than, I don't know. He's just, that was a crazy move there. Like, okay, here's the thing. Let's just talk, before we get talk about the actual match, let's just talk about Cody Rhodes here. So, the original video I was going to do separately was a video talking about the we're going to talk about here. The message that Cody Rhodes is sending in 2022, or the message that Cody has just sent throughout the entire business, because after everything I've seen Cody Rhodes do, especially this past week, I'm back to where I just don't know how I feel about the fact that he actually came back to WWE. So, the reason why, again, the big key word here, as I talked about in a video I did recently, is ego. Cody Rhodes has a big ego. He has a massive ego, and he's literally the guy who's literally doing everything he can to prove that he is the best. Cody, and because I talk about this too, why I think ego sometimes can be a good thing is because, especially in the WWE these days, there are not many people who are there that want to prove that they're the best. They're not goal-driven to be the best. Cody Rhodes is goal-driven to be the best. He believes he is the best. But I still say this. How can you expect to be considered the best where really the only person in the entire company right now that we don't know if you can beat or not is Roman Reigns? Henceforth, why a lot of people think Cody Rhodes only came back to win the world title because there's literally nobody else left. They had to make Cody Rhodes a top champion, a world champion main event player. They had to make Cody Rhodes the biggest babyface in the company. And why? Because there's nobody else. So to the people who do think that Cody Rhodes came back to be a big fish in a small pond, I don't blame you. But like I said, the reason why I'm so torn about it is because, I get that side, but I also get the side that, one, Cody Rhodes has mentioned he wants to be more than just, an executive vice president who started a wrestling company. No. He wants to be a world champion. He wants to, do what his father never got to do. Which is a great story to play off of, but, you have a freaking countdown clock for you. You basically have, everybody having to say something about you. Like, that's the exact same stuff that got people like John Cena and Roman Reigns booed. People turned on them. And then stuff like this, where you wrestle with a torn pectoral muscle that, who knows, because he had surgery last week, and the latest news is he could be out for 9 months, I heard. 9 months. So that throws away definitely Money in the Bank, which I'm going to say this also. With this story that Cody Rhodes is playing, what is telling, with him trying to, do something his father was able to do, I still, for the life of me, I still don't think Cody Rhodes needs the Money in the Bank contract for that story. Like, I would much rather have him win the Royal Rumble. And that's what I think a lot of us were hoping he'd be back, is by Royal Rumble. He wins that, goes on to WrestleMania, fight whoever the world champion is. Now, of course, a lot of people are thinking by then, because a lot of people are still saying that they think Drew McIntyre, now with Cody gone, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre are going to be the ones to take the titles off of Roman Reigns. With Bobby Lashley maybe doing it at SummerSlam, maybe, I don't know, but Drew McIntyre, they think Drew McIntyre is going to do it at Clash of the Castle in London, which would be fitting a time to do that. So, like I said, The Rock and Roman Reigns does not need to be for the world title. Like, that match does not need the title involved. In fact, I think it would be bad for them to do that match with the world title, because it'll be so obvious that Roman's going to win. They're not going to have Rock dethrone Roman at WrestleMania just to do nothing with it. Like, who else is The Rock going to fight? There's nobody left. But, getting back to Cody. He did not need to do this. Like I said, first off, it's a Hell in a Cell match. A match that really wasn't meant for this feud. This feud that was kind of like Seth Rollins being like gatekeeper to get Cody Rhodes' momentum coming back in. It's like having I was say the Hardy Boys, but that's a bad example there. Who's another big return? But okay, the feud was not as bad as, but Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. Like that was just like a feud to get Bobby Lashley some momentum. Even though it was booked horribly and made Lashley look awful, to me it's the same thing as the whole point of that feud was just get Bobby Lashley. The whole point of this feud was just get Cody Rhodes some momentum. That could be completely halted because of this injury, but it really didn't need to be inside Hell in a Cell. But when you look at this, how bad that torn pec is. Again, Cody, you didn't need to do this. Like, people are looking at Cody Rhodes and they think of the guy who left WWE and he wanted to, prove a point that you can go, you don't need WWE to be successful. Now it's like, okay, this year it feels like, Cody Rhodes being the first guy to jump ship from AEW to WWE. Now you have people in AEW saying stuff like, oh, well, they're pushing Cody now. They're pushing Cody now, so I guess, if we went to WWE, we can get more money and we can get pushed right now. It's like, that's not what it's supposed to be. Like, that whole idea of, taking the money out of the picture, and how, it's like, yes, you want to be paid your worth, but you also don't want to be treated like crap either. It's like, that's not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear people think that, oh, just because Cody Rhodes can push this means that I can go back to WWE. Like, no, that's not the case. Vince McMahon only gives a shit about Vince McMahon. Tony Khan is again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people out there is going to say, oh, you're just, being a big, WWE hater, AEW supporter, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you have a company like WWE that has almost everybody going directionless, no direction for anybody, no one you can legitimately believe besides Cody Rhodes, who could beat your world champion, Roman Reigns, who isn't even on TV much anymore, by the way, because he's out filming a movie. So he's getting ready to walk out the door. So, my point is, I have my reasons to be a fan of a show that has, new stars being built, than a show that there's, nothing happening. That's a complete waste of time. But Cody Rhodes is now an example that you can wrestle with a fully torn pectoral muscle, and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, I'm sorry, but we didn't. I mean, Cody, I appreciate you trying to be a tough son of a gun. I respect, the great match you did and effort, but what you did was risky. You don't need to do that, my friend. So, Cody Rhodes, crazy man, but this crazy man was still able to put on a hell of a match, no pun intended, inside Hell in a Cell. Even with the torn pec and Seth Rollins, going after it was awesome. Using like the kendo sticks. He actually pulled out like a belt. Also, Seth Rollins came out wearing like the polka dots that Dusty Rhodes would wear, trying to get inside Cody's head even more, and try to throw off his game even more to the fact that he would probably hurt Cody more. Cody would probably get hurt more, and Seth could take it to the advantage. Cody sold the torn pec amazingly. Well, not sold, but I'm sure he was in pain quite a bit. There were several times, of course, I did think that Seth was going to win, like such as when he did have the belt that's like a replica of the white belt except black with the polka dots that he whipped on Cody's bad pec. The sledgehammer that was used. Cody got slammed through a table, I believe. He got slammed into the cage. The cell was put to good use, and so were the weapons, I feel. The only other gripe I will say about this match is that I do not like that they had Cody Rhodes having to beat Seth Rollins with multiple of the crossroads. Like, to me that just makes me think exactly of how I felt about John Cena getting the AA watered out. Everybody was kicking out of the AA. Okay, not everyone's kicked out of the crossroads, but your first feud back, yes, you're wrestling one of the best in the world in Seth Rollins, but it's kind of showing that Cody may need a new finisher. If everyone's going to be kicking out of the crossroads, that's a problem. That's a problem right there. But Cody does win. He hit the crossroads, but Seth had also brought out the sledgehammer, which also, by the way, both these guys who definitely look up the Triple H big time teased the pedigree, and Cody actually, I think, did hit the pedigree on Seth Rollins, and he did hit Seth also with the sledgehammer. Now, Seth would use the sledgehammer, of course, on Cody Rhodes, who, had to come to Raw the following night and tease he's going to be in Money in the Bank. Who knows? Like a lot of people are predicting Cody Rhodes is going to pull a John Cena return and return, months and months earlier than he was supposed to, which wouldn't surprise me if they try to do that, just to, shove his babyface run down our throats even more. I'm not going to deny. But yeah, Seth Rollins was using the sledgehammer on Raw last week to take out Cody, but of course Cody had to leave on his own 2 feet to, get the big babyface reaction that he wouldn't have gone to AEW. Everybody wanted to boo him in AEW because they wanted him to turn heel, which I agree he should have, but still an awesome match. I still love, the mind games Seth played, the tributes to Dusty, the use of the weapons, use of the cell. I just thought it was a hell of a match. I think it was a dumb idea for Cody to still wrestle the match, but credit where credit's due. He still, did something, mad respect for what he did, but I still think, he was a crazy man for doing what he did. And with that being said, that's my Hell in a Cell review. Even though I'm back and forth about the grade, I gave it a B-. I still kind of maybe like WrestleMania Backlash just a smidge bit more. Not much more, just a smidge bit more. But this was still, a fun wrestling show once again. Nothing really great to come out of it. But yeah, check the live chat. Anybody else got anything to say? We had Tyler saying some things. Blame this on Roman for this unifying belts. I'm going to say something out of the world. If Chris Jericho may come back to WWE in a year, which Chris Jericho, I can see coming back to WWE. I feel like he's one person that, has the reasons to come back, I feel like, in my opinion. Cody, I just still felt like it just wasn't the time. I just still feel like, Cody Rhodes had a lot he could have still done in AEW, and I just didn't think it was a time for him to come back yet. WWE cares about Ronda Reigns and Ronda. Oh, Horseface, not Houseface, Horseface Rousey. Yikes. AJ needs to be the one to dethrone Roman. Drew and Lashley have their moment already. I'm not opposed to that at all. Like, I still want to see AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. Like I said, we've only seen that match back when AJ first came in. So I would still like to see that match for sure, yes. He thinks Seth needs to turn face. I mean, the crowd loves his theme, so that's definitely one way to, just, go forward with it. But, again, my problem is, I just feel like Seth really, ruined himself as a babyface last time. So, he'd have something to prove to me. I think he's a much better heel, but that's your opinion, man. That's your opinion. They should have done a replacement for the Hell in a Cell match. They should have, yes. But, yeah, that's my review of Hell in a Cell. I may try to do a couple more videos tonight, guys, if I feel up to it. But I do have other things I am trying to do, too, right now. So, again, just be patient. Trying to get caught up. I did kind of do 2 in 1, because I said I wanted to, do the stuff I talked about, Cody Rhodes and the mark he has left, especially in 2022. I kind of want to do that as a separate video, but I just did it here instead. So, yeah, I'll take a breather. Maybe I'll still try to do some of the other videos I want to do and try to get a little more caught up. But I'll probably, the only other live streaming I want to do so is last week's Dynamite review, which I probably will do that one tomorrow night. I'm probably going to be. I don't think I'm going to be doing my usual Tuesday night trivia with my friends or anything. So I'll probably end up just, instead of doing like our virtual trivia night, I'll probably just end up just trying to catch up more on content. So we'll see. So, yep, that's my thoughts on Hell in a Cell 2022. What are your thoughts, guys, on Hell in a Cell 2022 and Cody Rhodes' torn pec? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video, subscribe or contact my channel, follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAir193. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.